Good morning and welcome to your daily morning horoscope for Thursday 19th March 2026 Aries. This is a good day for you and you should be feeling happy, excited, enthusiastic and optimistic about the future. Relations with family, friends and neighbors are likely to be warm and congenial. Today could involve a lot of time on the phone or running out for errands. Expect a surprise encounter with someone you haven't seen in a long time. You'll spend time reminiscing and catching up on the memories. Taurus, a rush of humanitarian spirit and desire to do some real good deeds might find you looking into various charities in order to find those who might want your help. However, money could be flowing out for other purposes too quickly for your taste. It perhaps would be best to find one group that suits you and give only that one. Save other worthy causes for another time. Gemini, you along with a significant other in your life could be very busy trying to make time for each other during the day. When you're finally alone, your phone could be ringing non-stop, further intruding upon your time together. Don't be afraid to turn it off. If a call is particularly important, they will call again later. Cancer, today you could be faced with a bunch of people from out of town that you've never met before. You're likely to find this exciting and stimulating, but you could also feel a bit flustered. You might also not be at your most outgoing right now, and this could be a better day to listen than to try to talk. Sometimes silence impresses people more than anything that you could say. Leo, travel and adventure are on your mind. You could be daydreaming about flying to exotic places and doing unusual things, such as touring the ancient sites of India or going on a safari in Kenya. Such dreams are possible, so you might want to look into it. You also might want to learn about exciting fields of interest, so this is a good day to sign up for a class or a workshop. Virgo, it may be too easy for you to convince someone today. No matter how profound your idea or how convincing your explanations, the other person just isn't ready to believe it yet. Don't be pushy. Maybe this person needs to sleep on it for a couple nights, or maybe they just need to do their own research. Be patient and focus on other things in the meantime. Libra, a trip by air could be very much on your mind. Perhaps you're planning a vacation with your family or a romantic partner. You could well be caught up in the excitement that seems to be driving emotion today. Friends could offer advice, but you aren't in the space to accept it as your self-confidence is high. Expect to spend the evening in the congenial company of your friends. Scorpio, you've got a lot on your mind lately and others might be interpreting your quiet behavior as you being aloof. Go right ahead and let them think whatever they want. You've got some real issues to think through and decisions with important consequences to come up with. You'll be able to smooth their ruffled feathers later, but right now, just focus on taking care of yourself. Sagittarius, a number of invitations to social events could come your way today. Some from people you really don't know well, and don't pass them up. You could make some fortunate time for contacts or even some new friends at some parties. You enjoy being around people, but today you might find it a bit tedious. Your heart is with your family, and you're probably looking forward to being at home and cuddling with a romantic partner for sure. Capricorn, visitors could come to your home tonight, possibly for an informal get-together of some kind. Their friends might be involved in some way. You're likely to be very busy during the day, perhaps tying up loose ends. Your mind is probably going 1,000 miles an hour, so you'll need to wind down before going to bed tonight. You don't want to lose any sleep, for sure. Aquarius, you may appear to have your head up in the clouds today, and the truth is you've got a lot of important things on your mind. Others might be offended or even amused at your distance. Try not to worry about this too much. You need to take care of resolving these problems you've been ruminating on before worrying about everyone else's reaction. Pisces, you might feel that money is flowing out of your bank account too quickly lately, and this might be a cause for worry to you. You could feel as if you spend too much on decorations for your home or on entertaining family and friends. Don't worry, you'll make up for it, and besides, you can't take it with you, you know? Watch your spending habits, but don't let it turn you into a miser. This has been your daily morning horoscope for Thursday, 19th March 2026. Do have yourself a wonderful day.
Morning, guys. It's another awesome day again, and here we are in each other's company. I look forward to this every morning. Welcome to the DBS Morning Show. My name is Marine. Let's head on over to our news department. You know the drill. Let's see what we're working with. We'll be back.
Good morning. Time now for the news. My name is Timothy Paulion. The Water and Sewage Company has rolled out a new weekly schedule aimed at improving its services to northern communities. According to a senior company official, this strategy, which involves 24-hour service cuts, is a more equitable way to ensure those who have been without water for months finally receive a supply.
We had one where we were practically closing off Castries on a Tuesday, Castries and the south of Castries on a Tuesday. We had adopted a mild approach, and depending how the situation unfolded, would have become more aggressive. But the thing is, we were still not able to supply the outermost communities, example, the capacity areas where there are some places where people had not experienced water in the mains for over 5 months, even though we did trucking. But as you would know, trucking is a very unsustainable way of getting water to people.
Meanwhile, the opposition United Workers' Party feels that the island's water crisis could have been avoided had the St. Lucia government addressed the shortcomings of the Water and Sewage Company and continued desilting the John Compton Dam. The island's water crisis was addressed yesterday during a press conference.
Under the UWP administration, prior to 2021, work had begun on the desilting program. Progress was underway, and plans were in motion to remove this sediment that had accumulated for decades. But when this government, this current government, who took office 5 years ago in 2021, they stopped, yes, they stopped the desilting work, which would have helped to alleviate some of the problems. They halted a project that had already begun. 5 years, nothing was done. Not a spoon, not even one spoonful of silt was removed.
Finally, from us this morning, residents of Denis and surrounding communities now have renewed access to essential oral health care.
More so, we've been able to sensitize people of the resource, as I said, and that is very important to us, so that we have a troop of people around the island who could educate of the use and misuse and the purpose of those pipes, as it is our obligation on a national level to provide such a basic amenity to the poor and indigent.
Mrs. Vernant also noted that the sensitization process was a success and that all inactive and active standpipes have been identified.
The project has been a success in that we now know where all our active standpipes are. We also know where our inactive or disconnected pipes are. And the relevance of the latter is that of our ability in cases of drought or disaster to activate those pipes if necessary.
That's the news. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please join us at noon for our next news major, the Lunchtime Report. I'm Timothy Polion. Good morning.
Wow, thank you guys. Let's take a short break. We'll be back after this. March is marked the awareness month for endometriosis, and the ladies, the amazing ladies over at Iyanola Womanhood, of course, that falls under the preview, and they're taking all of the initiatives to ensure the awareness, the information is out there, so you can be better prepared or better informed when it comes to these things. They're very much a condition, and trust me, they have people right here in St. Lucia affected by it, and you never know. You just might have symptoms and you don't even know that these are symptoms that could be indicating that you should check. So let's have a conversation with Oliviann. Oliviann is her name. Yeah, let's have a conversation with her. I'm here with Oliviann. Oliviann is co-founder for Iyanola Womanhood, right. And it's not the first time we've interacted with them here. And I remember the first time we interacted, based on what was proposed to us, we kind of liked it. We liked what was being proposed. We liked the approach that was being taken. Mm-hmm. Some of the things that you cover under the banner of what you spend time to make sure you bring awareness to. Yeah. It's quite interesting, and you know, it's good to have you guys still on board, because you know a lot of these things come on board as NGOs, they erect, but sometimes it gets difficult because you have your work to do, this one have, and it normally take, you know, sometimes most of the things they come on with good intentions, but then they fall through because persons don't have the resources or the thing to keep pouring into them. So I'm very happy to see that we still have that.
Going strong.
Yes, I am very, very elated to see that. Oliviann, we're here because March is dubbed the Awareness Month for Endometriosis.
Right.
And of course, that falls right under what it is, some of the things that you undertake from that womanhood standpoint as well. So enlighten us a little bit, because sometimes we hear these things and we're thinking it's far-fetched, or, you know, we hear this thing and say, oh, it's TV things, that's foreign people think.
No, it's a real condition.
Absolutely. So it's very important for us to understand it is that. What is endometriosis?
So endometriosis, it's a chronic condition where tissue that's similar to the lining of the uterus, it's not exact. It grows outside the womb, outside the uterus, and elsewhere in the body. It can actually grow on many different organs, grow on or into many different organs. It has been found in the bladder, bowel, brain,
like real tissue
nerves. Yes, misplaced tissue. Yes. It has been found in many of these organs, and it can affect their function. So wherever it grows, it can cause issues. There is no cure for it currently, but it can be managed with lifestyle factors and surgery. Yeah.
Oh God, okay. Now, you have me thinking so much now.
Right.
So what happens? What can this thing prevent? How does it, you have to be born with it, or you can develop it after a while?
There have been some studies that have suggested that it has been found in some fetuses, but for now they don't know what the cause is. A lot of women and girls experience heavy painful periods. They get a lot of bloating, cramps. Later on, it causes painful sex, and it keeps on growing without intervention. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Chronic fatigue as well, because all the inflammation within the area, it causes a lot of fatigue because the body is trying to fight off the tissue.
So you're always tired and you're wondering, you're sleeping a lot. you know you're sleeping,
right,
but yet you wake up after how many hours sleep or days sleep and you're still feeling tired.
Yeah, that's fatigue. So it causes that as well. And these are the symptoms of it. It can be managed with something called excision surgery, but the only way to definitely diagnose it is something called laparoscopic surgery, where they go in and they assess it to see what stage it's at. It can, there are 4 different stages, but the stage it's at does not correlate to the pain, meaning you can have stage 4 and have not much pain, or stage 1 and have very severe pain.
So it's a very personalized kind of thing. It all depends on the individual.
On the woman, which makes it hard to diagnose. It takes at least 7 years for it to be diagnosed in a woman.
Hey.
Right. Some women only find out they have it when they're trying to have a baby, and then they realize, okay, they're not getting through. They go to the doctor and they find out they're infertile. It actually causes 30 to 50% of infertility. Cases of infertility. Yep.
And we have people who are actually dealing with this and probably don't even know they're dealing with it.
Millions of people, yes. The difficulty is that girls usually discover, like, during their teenage years, when they're starting their menstrual cycle, that they have a lot of painful periods. But because it's a developmental stage, they might just, chalk it off to hormones. We hear all the time. You have to get used to it. Sometimes they don't even go to the doctor because they think it's something that has to sort itself out, right? And that's what causes the difficulty. Thankfully, more and more people are being diagnosed with it, and if a diagnosis is like the first stage to getting the treatment that you need.
Right.
But for now, it's still something that's difficult to get as much research into it as we need.
Right.
So this is why Iyanola Womanhood, we're trying to spread awareness so that women can learn more about it, women and girls. But we also don't want anybody to think, like, just because you have a painful period, that means you have endometriosis. It could just be hormonal imbalance, especially if you're developing. It could just be, something else that you have to change a little bit about your lifestyle to manage your menstrual cycle.
But having information is so critical now.
Exactly, it's the first step.
But okay, so then what do you recommend? Do you wait for symptoms or signals? Because since you say it takes about 7 years, we have to wait for
it takes 7 years for somebody to even diagnose it correctly. So you'd be going to the doctor all the time, and sometimes they don't realize that's what you have. That's what I mean.
But you have to have, but how do you, okay, I guess what I'm trying to ask is, you may have it and not even know.
Right.
And like you said, in everybody it's different. So there might not be any symptoms. You might not be experiencing any symptom, but you might actually have this thing there.
Right.
Is there like a recommendation that persons or women of a certain age or anything to just probably just go do that particular test just to check?
Well,
to make sure well, and you still wouldn't know.
well, the difficult thing is that
Yeah.
the only way to actually diagnose it officially is with surgery, where doctors, based on the symptoms, they might say, okay, I think you may have this condition. So it's worth having a conversation with your
With your
doctor
doctor.
about, you know, and if you feel like, okay, I have spoken to this person, but my symptoms continue, it persists, I'm very uncomfortable, I've tried everything that they have suggested, and I'm still not getting through with relief. Then you go see another specialist. You have to really advocate for yourself, which is sad, but you have to advocate for yourself and keep trying until you get the information that you need.
Wow.
And treatments, they vary. Like I said, excision surgery is like the gold standard for treating it.
Right.
But apart from that, you can have different changes in your lifestyle and your diet. Like I have endometriosis and I follow a pescatarian diet, so I only eat fish. And I eat lots of peas, beans, vegetables, fruits.
What do you have to avoid?
Well, I have found that, at least in my case, every woman is different, but I have found that avoiding red meat helps with the pain,
Right.
because the red meat can sometimes contain factors that increase the pain, so I find when I avoid it, it's a lot better for me.
For you.
If
you don't avoid it, what is that kind of pain you're talking about?
Oh, it's severe.
It's severe pain?
You can end up in the hospital because you're having such bad cramps and nothing is working. I follow a very healthy diet. I also exercise, that helps me. Medication, that sort of thing.
Wow.
So different things, you have to kind of like figure out what works for you.
Wow.
But yeah, one of the first things is to first have a discussion with your doctor about it.
Wow.
We don't want anyone to think that painful periods
means
are
automatic,
normal, or automatically means that you have endometriosis, but it's worth discussing with your specialist.
And yes, exploring if that's what's going on with you. It's important to guard yourself, be in the know. Yeah, be informed. Listen, there's a lot happening here. Have me thinking I don't even want to go. What is this? Who knows? Okay, you see why I had to have that conversation this morning, and maybe you viewing as well needed to hear that conversation. Maybe you've been having some sort of symptoms, and it would be worth your while to go check it out as well. Where can we continue to follow everything that is happening with you, the Womanhood platform?
Well, right now we the color for Endometriosis Awareness Month is yellow. So we're encouraging everyone to wear yellow for endo. That's the campaign that we have going on, and tag us on your pictures. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Iyanola Womanhood.
Right.
So tag us in your pictures. This will help spread awareness of the disease and also help us to educate people as well.
And wear the color,
Yes, wear the color.
Yeah, certainly. Well, yes. Wow. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Oliviann, wow. That's a lot of information there. So a lot of eye-openers. Things we just, we roll on by daily and we don't even check. Wow. We've got the St. Lucia representative at the High Commission in London, and we had a chat with them. It was sometime during the Nobel Laureates Festival, yes. And they were, they had planned and they have organized something for their own recognition as well, as we celebrated our Nobel laureates. And they were going to be doing sort of like a book showcasing, author showcasing, highlighting St. Lucian writers and authors and publishers. And they held that. And we promised we were going to, roll back around, because a lot of the times we need to have, follow-ups to find out, if those things were successful. So we caught up again with Angela and Denis, and she gave us a rundown of how the thing went. And boy, by every indication, well, I guess we have every reason to be proud and look forward to the future of this, because it seems that it's going to be a staple from now on. The last time we spoke to Angela, a new initiative by the consulate, is it? what is it again?
Well, the High Commission of
High
St. Lucia.
Commission.
Yes.
You guys undertook a new initiative in efforts to
Yes.
continue to strengthen the work that you've been doing. And
Yes.
I understand it was overwhelming, the response and
Yes.
the participation from that one. So I just want you guys, I just want a little insight from you, to let me know. We did say
What happened?
we were gonna
Yes, we did.
we were going to yes, we were going to do
Do
the
the
with you on this one. So can you just enlighten us how that went?
Okay, so I'm really happy that we're able to do this. Oh gosh,
I know.
far too often. Yes, far too often, we have these conversations about things happening and then we don't come back. So I'm happy to report that our first St. Lucian Authors Literary Showcase of the High Commission went very well. I mean, in terms of the authors, in terms of the audience, all the authors showed up. We aimed for 15 authors, we weren't sure, and we ended up with 21 authors on the day. And we also had each author either speaking about their book or reading a bit of an exit from their book. And that went very well. I mean, the audience did not want to leave. We started with Nala and the 3D machine. She's a young author, and this book was developed during COVID, and she was inspired, just to support the emergency workers and using science and technology. She was very happy to be part of it as a young author, and people were inspired by her being there as well. Even the authors there. We had a couple of authors who were first time, they had just published their book, and I believe there's a book about my hair, my crown. Erica, she wrote this book, and she says she just published her book and she was just so happy to be part of it. There was a cookbook, there was an older lady who wrote memories about her life. And well, I mean, some people thought it was her book launch, to say the least, but she was quite entertaining. Her story was quite authentic. It was revealing, about that young person and the energy that she was.
Wow.
We had persons writing academic books. We had a historian, a linguist, Dr. Morgan Dalfini. We had Bernadette Albert. She used to be the aide de camp to our former governor general. Yes, lots of books, lots of poetry books, lots of authors who we had never seen before. And everybody was really excited. The place was packed from the beginning to the end. So we're happy that we were able to give persons that exposure, give them the opportunity that potentially they may not have had in the same way to share with a new audience and just to let people know what they have.
I love that. No, but that means now planning how to go into the next one, because you can't just be a one-off, and definitely some deeper planning and thought and curating how to go into the next one now.
Yes,
done.
Definitely. I mean, we had a few challenges that we were able to overcome in terms of space, because we catered for 15 and we had to squeeze 21 authors in. So we used every square inch of the High Commission's facilities. But people didn't complain. People were just happy to be there to network. We had lots of well wishes at the end of it all, of the experience, and everybody's just looking forward to the next one.
Wow.
Everybody's just looking forward to the next one. So we're already looking at bigger facilities, because there's no way we could bring it back to the High Commission as we expect it to grow next year.
Wow. Oh gosh. Well, I'm glad. I am so happy, and I'm happy, even more happy, that we were on board for this inaugural one. And
yes.
We're not going to stay far. We want to follow that movement, certainly, because similar things were done here as well as part of the Nobel Laureate.
Yes.
And all of them was just so well received, so impactful. And the eye opener for a lot of us, me included, is that we have so many authors and writers and
that's true.
St. Lucia has been doing a great job in that field, in that department. So I think the platform just created that awareness, and I think more people are now better able to understand that we really are truly is flourishing in that area. So I'm glad that we didn't just do it on island, but you're able to actually do something like
take it abroad.
Well,
Yes.
and we could now say holistically, yes, that's the
Yes.
case. So
Yeah, that is so true.
yeah,
Before we bring it to a close though, it's so true in that there's so much writing out there. And one of the critical things, not just general writing, there are persons poetry is also part of writing. And we have
absolutely,
so many people who publish poetry books.
absolutely.
So we would like the public to know it's not just the stories, it's not just the non-fiction, but there are also lots of persons who have written poetry books. We had a few persons at our showcase and they were unsure as to whether, should I come with my poetry book? But
Right.
I said to them, yes, it's writing as well, it's creative work. And they were very happy to be there. Their poems were very well received as well. So we were really excited. So it's good that,
I
we
love
could
this.
we can showcase all of this, all of
I
our
love it.
creative.
I absolutely love it. And like I said, we're definitely going to remain on board for the next one. Thank you again, and big up to you and your team over at the High Commission as well. And we look forward to the next round.
Yes.
We definitely do. Right, and that's like one Thursday down to the final Thursday. I know it's a lot of time. That's the thing for you to get your brains working in the morning time. Early morning, you've got to get your brain. So it's the one Thursday down to the final Thursday before Relay for Life. I know, right? Come on tight. I promise you it will help you to start your day right. But certainly, we've been having a series leading up to the 28th for Relay for Life here on DBS because we are taking a major stock and playing a major part and participating in this Relay for Life because as you well know, DBS family has been impacted very heavily by the disease cancer. So you would understand why it is that it's personal to us to any areas in which we can continue to keep the awareness, to lend support, we are doing that. So as we gear up for Relay for Life, every single Thursday before that, we meet up with Dr. Remy, of course, to talk about something else as we lead into it. So here we are. Right, so we are continuing with our series as we lead up to the 28th. Again, you ask what is happening on the 28th of March. It is Relay for Life. It's back on, and Doc is here with us. And obviously, survivors is a big part of this.
Yes.
And we've got a section of the Relay for Life showcasing that speaks directly to that, which is the luminary, where persons can have their lantern that represents whether somebody that survived or somebody that unfortunately lost the battle. So I think it's important for us to spend some time here so persons who wish to come can understand how it is or how that they can incorporate themselves and their need into the whole luminary part of the event.
Okay, so the luminaria is almost the same as a candlelight vigil. Right? So that portion of it, we invite everybody. So survivors as well as persons and relatives of persons who have not been successful along the journey against cancer, the fight against cancer. Survivors make up a huge part of what Relay for Life is actually about because we want to celebrate them. So at the event, we have a survivors tent. We invite all survivors. You register for free. You come and get pampered by us because we want to celebrate how you have thrived, how you have managed that journey, even though we have people who are survivors that you would never even know went through that journey. And then obviously we have persons who've been left with the scars of just managing that journey. So we invite all of the survivors because we have services for you. And the first lap of Relay for Life is a survivor's lap.
Absolutely.
Where you can come decked out however you want to. You can come with your wigs, you can come with your tutus, you can come with your pom-poms, your noisemakers.
Wow.
You can choose the color of the cancer that you survived. You can just come as you are.
Yeah.
So we invite all the survivors just to register with us. And so just so we know how many people we're catering for,
Right.
but come on the day, you don't have to register before. Identify yourself. Let us know if you want to be referred to as a survivor or a thriver.
Yes.
And you walk that first lap. If you are in a wheelchair, we will have people to push you along. If you need us to carry on your back, we will have
can do
volunteers to
that,
do that
yeah.
as well.
Absolutely.
And then the luminaria ceremony, which is a little bit later, the candlelight part of it, everybody's invited. So survivors are there to hold the hands of families and hold each other up as we go through this journey. And the luminaria ceremony really remembers all of our fallen fighters.
Wow.
So we're hoping that, like we did last time, and like what usually happens, that the public is invited to purchase some of these luminaria bags, which we light up with the glow sticks or tea light candles, so that we can illuminate the field.
The field, right.
And we will have performances, we will have gospel songs, we'll have instrumental. It's really just a sentimental aspect of Relay for Life. And the entire public is invited. So we know it's a Saturday, and
Yes.
sometimes some religious groups may not be able to participate in the daytime part of the whole ceremony.
Yes.
But the luminaria starts around 6:30, like I said, at dusk, and continues until around 7:30.
Right.
So we invite you all just to come and be part of that. There is nobody in St. Lucia who does not know somebody and wants to remember somebody who has fought this journey and fought this fight against cancer. So it really is an invitation to all of our survivors. It's about you. Without you, Relay for Life is not even an event. And obviously, to continue to stay with us for the entire event, you know, share your stories. Our Heroes of Hope will be there to encourage you, to give their testimonials, and stay for the luminaria, or come and join us for the luminaria ceremony, and then everybody walks the last closing lap as we end the ceremony.
Yeah. Wonderful. And speaking of survivors, let's end this way. Thank you again, Doc. So there you go, guys. That's our show for today. We'll be back again tomorrow, God's willing. And hopefully you're going to be joining us again because, I mean, come on, this is your morning inspiration. We are so grateful, trust me, humbled, in fact, by you know, just the mere thought that so many of you look forward to culminating with us here in the morning time to get your means of inspiration and moving along, starting your day off. I mean, that's a privilege. So we don't take it lightly either. So we'll be back again tomorrow. But in the meantime, thank you so very much to each and every one of you. Oh, there's that lady that I met over at Swift Park recently. And I want to say good morning to you. The lady that gave me the little, heads up as to how to get the proper skin, you know, the 16-year-old skin at 50-something or 60-something. What was she said again? Grapeseed oil, olive oil, and Vaseline. I remembered. So I'm going to get my thing. I'm going to be doing my blend soon as well. But have an awesome morning. And thank you guys so much. Now, I want to leave with a little quote today. I want to ruffle up a little two feathers. I don't know, somebody might get a little offended. If you get offended, ask yourself why. They say when a clown moves into a palace, he doesn't become a king. Rather, the palace becomes a circus. Women, have a nice morning.